A months-long investigation into the use of force by police at this protest in Cottonwood Heights is now public. The Utah State Attorney General's office has been looking into what happened back on August 2nd, 2020.
Fox 13's Spencer Joseph explains the findings and how people who were at the protest are reacting.
Is the CHPD does not need to give me permission to drive down to my place where my son was shot.
We're here peacefully.
They wanted a confrontation with law enforcement.
Over the course of 8 minutes and 27 seconds, August 2nd in Cottonwood Heights, a protest over the death of Zane James after being shot by police in 2018 evolved into arrest, injuries, and questions over what went wrong.
I want to thank the AG's office for the presentation and for their candor.
10 months later, the Utah State Attorney General's office, at the request of the City Council, poured over all the video they can find to see if police were justified.
In this case, we did not observe police officers act in any obviously excessive or punitive manner. Specific allegations against police that we're aware of, such as arrestees being needlessly slammed to the ground, are unfounded. Allegations of officers beating a restrained prisoner are untrue, and the evidence of such is seen in reviewing the accuser's own phone video.
The marchers were not represented by the report.
Darlene McDonald was there and shared her thoughts on what was said Tuesday.
We were kettled, could not move, and they wanted to arrest people for getting in the street. And for him to say that there should have been more officers, and the officers showed restraint and deference to the marchers and quote-unquote protesters, as he called them, was far from the truth.
Video evidence from body-worn cameras, cell phones, even Fox 13 footage was shown in the review.
You're in the roadway, okay? I'm trying to get one at a time. One at a time.
Police made reasonable attempts to de-escalate tense interactions and made clear, repeated, and lawful orders before taking arrest actions.
The investigation also detailing specifics about Chief Russo and Councilmember Tally Bruce, who are currently in lawsuits over actions at the protest.
The review found that Chief Russo's actions while on scene in this incident were appropriate. Councilmember Bruce is observed in her own video, as well as other citizens' video and body-worn camera, being physically repelled several times and by at least 2 police officers.
But for marchers, they say these findings do not reflect what they say happened.
For me, it was very upsetting.
Good evening, and the family of Zane James has just sent a statement to Fox 13 saying in part that that the Attorney General's office report was one-sided and incomplete. Although it purported to be comprehensive, the report cherry-picked facts favorable to the officers and ignored a mountain of evidence that shows officers' actions were violent and violated the Constitution. Now, that family has just filed a lawsuit against the Cottonwood Heights Police Department, specifically talking about this protest. They say that the facts and the law are on their side, and they look forward to facing them in court. Live in Cottonwood Heights, Spencer Joseph, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Spencer, thank you. 8 people were arrested during the Cottonwood Heights protests in August. After reviewing the evidence, 3 were charged for their involvement.